What's up, everybody? Welcome to Get Your Fit Together, a crash course in all things health, fitness, and overall wellness. My name is AJ Kirsch, and I appreciate you being here today. Needless to say, it's been challenging times for a lot of us. Literally nobody's life is going the way that they thought it would right now. So, and in times like these, it's really easy to kind of let your health go to shit. And it's also an opportunity to establish new habits or refine and zero in on existing habits that can put us in a better place mentally, physically, and emotionally by the time this clusterfuck is over. So something I've been keeping in mind and saying a lot nowadays is that we are stronger than the circumstances that surround us. And we're stronger than this global pandemic right now. Obviously, it sucks. Everybody's being affected in different ways. And so, like I said, it's just easy to lose track of taking care of ourselves. But the fact that you're here today means that you are putting time and effort into doing just that. So I appreciate all of you for being here, and you should be proud to be here. Now's about the time. If you have the PDF and you want to follow along, now's the time to bust it out. The purpose of Get Your Fit Together is to get you acquainted or better acquainted with some broad categories of health, fitness, and overall wellness. It's something I've kind of been a victim of in the past, is really just zeroing in and putting blinders on and just focusing on my physical health and not really taking into consideration the relationship of my physical health with my mental and emotional health. And that has something specifically over the last couple of years that has become far more prominent and just something I've become more aware of in my life. And so I'm looking forward to sharing part of that with you. And more than anything, when you come away from this seminar, like, I really hope that I have convinced you that you absolutely, positively, without question, have the power to not just take control of your health, but pursue your goals in how you want to feel, how you want to look, and understand the ripple effect that has on pretty much every aspect of your life. When you get a hold and get a taste of the power that you have, the command that you have over your body, and realize that that affects literally everything, your mood, your energy, your sleep, how you feel, like not just physically as far as energy and everything else, but like just how you feel emotionally and your sharpness mentally, like, you feel pretty fucking unstoppable. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when you get a really good handle on your health, it's just unlike anything else. And so I hope that I can convince you to at least investigate, if not put in the work and start making the decisions to give you that same sense of just empowerment. More than anything else, that's what I hope you take away from today. Today is going to be way less about here's how. This is not about recipes or meal plans or do this exercise or take this supplement or any of the minutia that obviously we could get into if you want to. And if anybody is interested in working with me on any of that stuff, I'd be happy to talk about it. But again, today we're just kind of scratching the surface and giving you an idea of why far more than how. So again, it's more understanding of like why you want to take this approach and why you want to keep these things in mind. And, you know, you can zero in on what crunch to do at a later date once you feel like you're ready to actually get started. Part 2 of the PDF, the outline, who the fuck are you? Thank you for asking, person who never asked that question. I am a former couch potato who spent most of their time as a kid playing video games, eating pizza and French fries for lunch, every day. Like, I was not taking good care of myself as a young person. I had zero desire to pursue a healthy lifestyle. I get, like, in high school, middle school, I mean, really as a kid growing up, and Kim and I go way back. I'm sure she remembers this. All I wanted to do was play video games. That was like that was it. That was all I was concerning myself with. I didn't care how I ate. But also I was growing up a wrestling fan, a huge wrestling fan. And there came a time when I was like, you know what? I think I want to give this a shot. I want to pursue this. I want to see what it's like to be a performer as a professional wrestler. And so growing up watching people like Lex Luger and the Ultimate Warrior, and I know those names don't mean much to some of the people here in this seminar, but a lot of people watching this are big wrestling fans. And Lex Luger and the Ultimate Warrior are just these like carved out of granite Greek god physiques that you just look at and you're just like, how in the hell? Like, it's almost impossible. And that was one of the reasons that, and we're going to get into this a little bit later, that I've had really high expectations about my body image, because I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, that's what a professional wrestler is supposed to look like. I am so not that. And even like in high school, there were kids that had those like effortlessly just muscular, lean physiques. And I was so far removed from that that I was like, oh my God, there's no fucking way this is going to happen. And so the combination of me wanting to pursue a career as a professional wrestler, that is something that really compelled me to start looking into a healthy lifestyle. But also at that time in my life, I was just tired of feeling bad. Like, and by bad, I just mean like sluggish, tired of feeling incapable, tired of not looking how I wanted to, and tired of not feeling good about how I looked and not feeling good about how I felt. And so I decided to make some changes. And it wasn't like, maybe I'll do this, like maybe I'll commit to this. This was a like flag in the ground saying, I'm going to fucking do this. Like, I decided that this is going to happen. It's already done. I just need to make it happen. That's how dedicated I was. And I'm not saying that you need to be that dedicated if you're making changes, but there will come a point where you decide if you're going to take charge of your health or not. And if the answer is no, that's okay. It just may not be the right time for you to put in the work and the effort it takes. And it does take work and effort. And a no now doesn't mean a no forever. But if you decide that, you know what, it's fucking time that I make some changes. Like, you can decide in a moment that things are going to be different from here on out. And I know that sounds cliche, but it is absolutely 100% true. And ever since, I've made my health and fitness a priority. And for a lot of that time, my top priority, like literally put it before everything else. Like, before I would, you know, if I knew I was going to be spending the night like at a partner's place or something, I would, you know, pack my gym clothes. I would pack my supplements. I would pack a shake. I would bring my little iPod shuffle that I still use for the gym. And, you know, I would wake up early while they were still sleeping, and I would go work out. I would come back, I would shower, and I would crawl back into bed with them. Like, that's how much of a priority I made it. And again, I'm not saying that you need to make it that same priority, but that's how passionate I am about it. And that's how much I genuinely look forward to it nowadays. And if I were to tell that 14, 15-year-old kid playing video games 4 or 5 hours a day, eating pizza and French fries for lunch, that one day you will not be able to wait to wake up and work out, I would have been like, get the fuck out of here. There's no way. Who are you? What are you doing here? How did you learn to time travel? I have a lot of questions. I don't think you can be trusted. So as a high school wrestler, I went from the 189-pound weight class my junior year to the 154-pound weight class my senior year. So it was a pretty drastic change, and something just clicked. Something happened where I was just like, God damn it. Oh, good. That's my other guest speaker. He showed up. Maybe I can edit that out of the video. Nah, fuck it. I'm going to leave it in. Warts and all. So anyway, went from the 189-pound weight class to the 154-pound weight class my senior year. And to this day, I attribute the discipline and work ethic that I have now from the wrestling team. And not everybody has access to a team sport or to, a club that can keep you motivated. But that was the turning point for me. In college, I continued to refine my fitness-focused lifestyle as I chased down my dream of becoming a pro wrestler with the WWE. I was training to be a wrestler at that time, so working out and eating right was very important to me. Still didn't look like much. I still did not look like the people I looked up to. I don't think I even realized at that time how unreasonable those expectations are. And we are going to get into unreasonable expectations a little bit later. My first job out of college when I graduated in 2005, holy fuck, that was 15 years ago. My God, that was like 15 years ago this month. It's May. Holy shit, do I feel old? Anyway, my life just flashed before my eyes. My first job out of college was as a personal trainer at a gym called In Motion Fitness in Chico, California. And I was one question from becoming a certified personal trainer with the National, National Association of Sports Medicine, National Academy of Sports Medicine, whatever. I still say it counts. I think I was close enough. They could have rounded it up. But anyway, so full disclosure, I've never been a certified personal trainer. But at the same time, I see a lot of personal trainers who are in terrible shape. And I feel like that's kind of you can teach somebody nutrition and diet and exercise and all this stuff. But if you can't inspire or motivate somebody to put the work in, then that information is completely useless. And again, that's what I'm hoping you get out of this seminar, or at least like a nice shove in the right direction. So today, I still prioritize my physical health, but I place it right alongside my mental and emotional health. I have a bajillion jobs, and I don't consider one of them a quote unquote real job. I haven't had a real job in a couple years. But since performing as an actor and at live events isn't one of them at the moment, thank you fucking COVID-19, you son of a bitch, a handful of my jobs are currently centered around helping others achieve their health and wellness goals. So among those, a freelance personal trainer, less nowadays, again, because of COVID-19, but that was one of my many side gigs. I'm a motivation coach, and I'm also a fitness and nutrition consultant, all of which have adjusted to more of an online practice since shelter in place and social distancing became a thing. But, of those jobs that I just listed, 3 of the people I work with are here today, and they're going to be talking about their experience, less about specifically working with me, but hopefully more about their experience as they get better acquainted with health, fitness, working out, and making mindful and healthy decisions. Now we're moving on to part 3 here. Actually, I'm going to check the chat real quick. I don't think anybody's typed anything, but like the PDF is kind of blocking the chat. So looks like we're all good so far. Again, don't be afraid to ask questions. I will follow up as soon as I can. Oh wait, there are questions here. There are 4 new messages. Oh man, am I really dropping the ball here? Let's see. Why don't we move that up a little bit? Test, 1, 2. Okay, hello everyone. Actually, oh, that's sweet. I want to thank everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Your workouts are keeping me motivated. Thank you. Quite shocked there aren't more wrestlers here. Yeah, you and me both. You and me both, bro. But that's okay. I'm sure they're taking care of themselves the best way they can right now. I appreciate the kind words, everybody. Sorry for glossing over them right now, but I am keeping in mind that we're recording this and this is going to be on YouTube. So I don't just kind of want to, sit and stare and read the questions, but I will keep a better eye on the chat so that if people have questions, I'll be able to get to them. Motivation. There's a reason I'm leading with motivation. There's a reason why that is at the tippy top of that is of the utmost importance for health and fitness. And I'm sure many of you are not going to like what I have to say as I kick off this part of the seminar. So brace yourselves. Hopefully you're sitting down. When it comes to health and fitness, there is no quick fix. Like, it just doesn't exist. There is no miracle diet. There's no magic supplement. There is no master, secret exercise that you do this, oh God, every time I look at a Men's Health cover or a Cosmo cover, or I see, an ad for 8-minute abs or Insanity or any of this stuff where it's just all you have to do is this one thing and bam, you'll have a beach body in 6 weeks. No, you fucking won't. That's not how it works. And if you do get a beach body in 6 weeks, then your body is probably deprived, malnourished, dehydrated, and it's just not how your fucking body works. That's how the fitness industry would love to make you think your body works, but it's not that easy. You know what does work? Work works. Work works. consistent work. It doesn't mean you have to be on top of it 100% all the time. I'm not. I'm cheating on my diet tomorrow, and I can't fucking wait. I'm going to wake up tomorrow like a kid on Christmas and just be like, oh man, maybe I'll have like 10 peanut butter cookies today or something. Maybe not that many. I don't know, maybe a few more. Anyway, work works. That's what works. There is no substitute for hard work. Just like supplements are no substitute for real food, just like masturbation is no substitute for real sex, just like a Zoom happy hour is no substitute for actually hanging out with your friends. There is no way around putting in the work to take charge of your health. And for a lot of us who are conditioned almost subconsciously to making shitty health choices, when we are faced with some of the choices that we need to make to turn our health around, it feels like a lot of work. And just as anything that you're first getting acquainted with, it can be intimidating and it can feel like a lot of work. But if you stick with it long enough to start seeing results, if you like put in the work, the more work you put in, the easier it gets. And the easier it gets, the harder you want to work, because the harder you work, the more progress you make, and the more progress you make, the harder you want to work, and then the better the results get, and then eventually you feel fucking unstoppable. Like, I'm fast forwarding really far to that unstoppable part, but like, it's true. Like, I have a hard time putting into words how motivated I am, even on those days when I have to wake up at like 3 a.m. to work out from like 4 to 5:30 or 6 o'clock to be somewhere at 7 o'clock. I like legit can't fucking wait. And that makes me sound crazy, but I know that sounds crazy, but that's the honest truth, is that I cannot wait to wake up and put my body to use. The thing is, and something I think will help with motivation, is that there needs to be a level of trust, and that trust is not in the 20-minute workout or the fix all diet. That trust is just that eating healthy and physical activity will work. You put the two of them together and they're gonna work. I have a hard time imagining a more obvious statement than eating right and exercising is going to get you in better health and is going to literally improve almost every aspect of your physical health. Like, every study ever done on a clean diet and exercise says that it works. There's even a study floating around, and if you ordered the PDF, I included it with the email, and I will, when I email you tomorrow asking for feedback, I will include this article so that everybody has it. But there's a study floating around right now that regular exercise can protect against complications brought on by COVID-19. And so if you're looking for a way to like protect yourself even further from this global pandemic, it's exercise. And the moment, like, you can read up on it all you want, and you can hear from a V-neck with muscles that it works. Nothing substitutes actually seeing the results for yourself. When you start seeing results for yourself, when you stick with it long enough so that you actually start seeing results, you're going to believe it, and you're going to be motivated in a way that you've probably never felt before, because you're experiencing it for yourself. Like, you're convinced at that point. It's like, and I remember the moment that it happened for me. I was like, oh my God, that's right. This whole diet and exercise thing actually works. Like, and before I get to that story, like, there are moments that I don't want to work out. In fact, most of the time, the minutes leading up to a workout, whether it's just at home in my living room or like when I do the workouts on Twitch. And by the way, everybody who's tuned into my workouts on Twitch, I appreciate you being here as well. There are moments that I don't want to work out. I just don't want to do it. I don't feel like moving my body. I don't feel like physically exerting myself. But I know in the back of my mind with absolute 100% certainty that I will feel better by the time it's done. It's never happened the other way around. It doesn't matter how sick I was. I mean, the day after I had knee surgery, I was in the gym and I felt better crutching my ass out of that gym after having had some kind of workout than I did walking in. It doesn't matter how tired I am. It doesn't matter how sick, how injured. I just feel better after putting my body to use, because our bodies are built to move. I move even when I don't want to move, because I know on the other side, I'm going to be thanking myself for making myself move. Like, you're going to feel worse physically, mentally, and emotionally if you don't work out. Your body's not going to feel as good. You might feel guilty for not working out, and you just don't feel quite as sharp mentally if you don't put your body to use. You don't get that rush of endorphins. You don't just kind of awaken yourself physically. And I'm a firm believer that when you wake up the body, you wake up the mind. And I do want to go back to that story about like the results and like the moment that it clicked for me. I was in high school. I was starting to like take charge of my health. And I remember one day after a practice, I remember looking down at my arms and just being like, oh shit, I got some veins in my arms. Like, and I know that sounds kind of weird because like, you know, they're not always, some people feel differently about vascularity, right? About veins popping out of people's arms. But as a kid watching professional wrestling, you know, they were, a lot of the athletes, a lot of the performers were just super vascular. Their veins were just popping out all over the place. It made them look like a superhero. So, and I never noticed that before. But when I started noticing some veins in my arms popping out, I was like, oh shit, this whole diet and exercise thing, it's actually working. Everything I've ever been told about diet and exercise actually improving your health, turns out that was right. Shocker. And for some of you, I'm sure there was a moment where you were just like, depending on where you are in your fitness journey, some of you may have not started yet. Some of you are well on your way, but I'm sure there was a moment that you were just like, huh, look at that. It's actually working. And also, like, there are sometimes you're so used, like I said, we get so subconsciously almost conditioned to feel a certain way. Like after eating a certain type of food or eating a certain way, or maybe being inactive for a while, you sometimes don't realize how bad you feel until you don't feel as bad. Like there was this show on VH1 a while back called Celebrity Fit Club, I think, where celebrities who would kind of let themselves go would lose weight. And then after they lose like 10 pounds or 20 pounds, they would be given a backpack with 10 pounds or 20 pounds in it, and they would be asked to carry it around. And then when they all of a sudden have to carry that weight again, now that it's no longer a part of them, they're like, I cannot believe how heavy this feels. I can't believe that I've been carrying this around on my body for all this time. And your body like wants to move, even if the consciousness inside the body doesn't. Like you might start out, if you're not acquainted with working out, or if you're not used to moving your body, you might start out hating it, but your body will eventually be like, oh my God, where has this been? Thank you for this. You get rewarded with a more efficient vehicle. Like this is your vehicle for life. You are given a pretty amazing like vehicle to be alive in this existence. There's like almost nothing we can't do. I mean, we are clearly at the top of the food chain. We have made this planet our bitch. We can do whatever we want with it. This is a pretty amazing like means of existing right here, and it's built to move. And if you treat it right, you are rewarded with a more efficient vehicle, a more proportional physique, endorphins, better focus, better sleep, better sex. Like it's amazing to me just how good your body can treat you if you treat it equally good. And sadly, a lot of people don't get to that point, rather, because they don't stick with it long enough to see results, to really believe for themselves, to see it firsthand, to see it happen to them. They don't stick with it long enough. It's like, you know, the resolutioners that make the resolution, okay, I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to lose weight. And then by January 10th, you know, they're done. They're burned out. You just got to stick with it. You just have to trust. You have to trust that it works. And it's one decision to get started. As I said earlier, there is that decision where it's like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. It's going to be different from here on out. I am making a promise to myself that I am going to start making healthier, more mindful decisions. Um, and it's one thing to make that decision to get started, but like I said, it's mindful decisions on the regular that's what's going to get you the results. That's what's going to get you the changes that you want to see. And with that in mind, I would like to introduce Kim, who I have been working with for about a month now, as I guess you could say a motivation coach, to help her make more mindful, healthier decisions because she has decided that she wants to take charge of her health, and that is not an easy decision to make. So I applaud you for taking charge. I'm happy to help you. I'm going to unmute you, and if I don't fuck this up, I'm going to bring you into the main room. There you are. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing where you're at in your fitness journey. Kim, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction.